Te Vangasio is a Samoan man whose life in New Zealand mirrors many other Pacific migrants.
That's right. He arrived in the 1950s and worked hard to build a future for his family. But 6 years ago, he was run over by a car and became a tetraplegic. Now he hopes his story will inspire others.
Ivy, and you're from up north, are you?
I'm from north.
Hi,
Yeah.
It's more than just a job for 75-year-old Filippo Sio.
I enjoy coming to work. I have a lot of pleasure in talking to people. So, have you got a nice garden at home?
Yeah, I'm sort of starting a garden.
Are you?
Nobody even knows that he's 75 plus, so his age doesn't even matter.
And it's his attitude that helped him climb the corporate ladder in his previous jobs. In the 80s, he worked at Telecom and then Clear, becoming the country's top sales manager, earning over $150,000 per year.
Right from probably when I first came here, I had this belief, being very proud, that I was just as good as the next person, although I had some real struggle with the language because I just couldn't speak English well.
Filippo met a Kiwi girl, and despite the language barrier, he plucked up the courage to ask Dora for a date. They've been married 53 years.
Arriving in New Zealand and couldn't speak English, it was tough. But she played a major role in showing me what to do and teaching me the Palangi way, especially using the knife and the fork.
One of the biggest challenges he faced was 6 years ago. When he was semi-retired, out on his morning walk, a car ploughed into him. He woke from a coma tetraplegic, with doctors giving him little hope.
That was a big shock, you know, when we were told by Dr. Yu that he'd probably never be able to walk again. I mean, he couldn't even move a finger.
It was then that I made a decision to challenge the doctor's verdict that I would never be walking again. So I said, I'm going to bet you I'm going to walk out of the spinal unit. People didn't know, although I spent many hours at the gym. 4 months later, on the day that I left the spinal unit, I got it all planned. I drove my electric chair to the door, I locked it in position, then I got up and walked out the door.
And 4 years ago, he returned to his old job at Mitre 10. You don't want to retire yet?
No, I'm not going to retire unless I wake up one morning and I can't get out of bed.
The same attitude helped him write his autobiography last year, getting up at 4:30 every morning to write.
My initial reaction was that there was no way I could write a book because I knew I can only type with one finger.
He finished it in 9 months and called it The Samoan Who Said Yes. So far it's sold over 1,800 copies. And like a true salesman, Filippo set up his own website to promote the book.
Some of my friends rang me up and they said, what on earth do you think you're doing with this website? And I said, well, we cannot stand still. Let's just keep on moving forward with the white man's magic. Who's taking the mickey out of it?
Filippo's now setting his sights on being a motivational speaker for young people.
And we can achieve whatever we want to do.
He had so much determination to do the best that he could. I think that it stood out to me because he kept going for his dream.
He's very inspirational, and I aspire to be like him one day.
I want to be a role model for them. I want to show them that if you have the right attitude, then sky's the limit. That's what I would like to do.
And there's probably a lot more to come in the story of the Samoan who said yes.